it's Regina. Welcome back to my haunted library. Today I wanted to talk about a few graphic novels that I picked up at my local library. I just went completely just on impulse and grabbed because I do like graphic novels. They're fun to read. It's kind of nice to break up a long novel. Like I'm still slogging through The Witching Hour by Anne Rice. Don't get me wrong, I love it. It's just really long, about halfway through. So I took a little break and read some graphic novels. So I just, like I said, grabbed these from the library, and I think they're overdue, but we all have our vices. Anyway, this one I picked up is called Loki, Agent of Asgard. Now, I love Loki. I did a whole video about Norse gods and giants and how much I love Loki, but I have never read the Marvel comic Loki. I was excited to do this, but then I realized I grabbed like this was the last book in the series. So I did read it, and it was not hard to figure out what's going on. Of course, these are not the Norse gods and giants that I know from my mythological reading, but it took me no time to really get into it. And I love this Loki. I love his depiction. He's very sexy and he's very cute. And there were some definite funny moments where I laughed. So in this one, starts Loki, I guess, died in the last one, and then he gets reborn as like an even more like evil Loki, King Loki, I think he's called. And so the two of them kind of square off. It's fun. I definitely have to go back and read, go back from the beginning and read, which I will. So I'll either be getting this from the library or maybe buying it because I thought it was really fun. So yeah, I definitely recommend this, and I'm going to go back and read it. It was really pretty awesome. The next graphic novel I got is called Black Monday Murders. Now, unfortunately, this is volume 2. And as much as I really tried to get into this, and the artwork is fantastic, I found that the story was really complex for not reading the first one. So halfway through, I just stopped and I decided I'm going to go back and try to find in the library the first volume and read it and then pick this up again. It was really good. I really, really liked the artwork. I thought it was gorgeous. It has this kind of like noir feel to it. But I found myself being really lost because it's like about world finance, and I was a little bit, okay, this is not my area of expertise or interest even, but I think it's worth looking at again. So I will go back at some point. I've got a lot of stuff back there to read, but you know, hopefully I'll be around a few years. I'll get to it. Then the last one was something really special. So I wanted to take a few moments to talk about this book. I feel like I discovered something wonderful, and I know this has been out for a while, but not being in the graphic novel radar, I missed it. It's called My Favorite Thing is Monsters by Emile Ferris, and it's a big book, and as soon as I saw the picture, I grabbed it. Because this actually, not that we were, well, my older sister's a very good artist. She's kind of on this level. I do some artwork myself, and it reminded me of when we were kids, we would fill up our lined notebooks with comics. And I wish, we still have a couple of them in the archives, but I wish we had kept them because I mean, we would do this all day long. It was kind of like R. Crumb and his brothers. We just would draw comics constantly. And it's funny because my older sister, who is an established artist, visual artist, started redoing some of the old comics just for fun and sending them to me, and we were really having a laugh. It's done on a line notebook, and the artist uses like a crosshatch technique with pen, and some of them are very loose, and then some of them are much more developed. I mean, this woman is a true artist, and I'm going to do some close-ups of this because I can't just flip through it and do it justice. It's mind-blowing. This it's thick. It's a story about a young girl in Chicago in the 60s, and it's a complex story. It's about this little girl who wants to be a werewolf. So it's very cute. She's depicted sort of like half girl, half wolf with this underbite and these teeth that come up. And throughout the story, you kind of figure out like what's going on. It's like a family drama, but then it goes into this story about a woman in her neighborhood, and who has this dies mysteriously. So she's sort of like the girl's an amateur sleuth trying to figure out this murder mystery, and it goes back into this woman's life about her being in Nazi Germany and being in a concentration camp, and like it's heavy. The themes are very heavy. It deals with like child prostitution and drug use and this type of stuff. But it different social issues come up in this book. This was great. It was so great. I'm going to buy it and I'm going to put it on my Christmas list. But I think there's also a volume 2. If you appreciate art and real personal expression and a very unique book and a very unique artist personal vision, I highly recommend this. I was on the Goodreads page, and you know, it got a lot of high praise. A lot of people said, you know, this is a masterpiece, which I totally agree. I believe it is. I give it those kinds of high marks. Other people found the story confusing or just too much of a downer. So, you know, just be warned. It's not a feel-good type of story, but it's definitely an incredible story. I can't say enough good things about this book. So I'm really glad I just went to the library and looked, and it caught my attention and grabbed it. And that's what's great about libraries. Anyway, thanks for stopping by my haunted library, and I'll see you soon. Bye.